Evening, everyone. This is Rebecca of Red True Crime with a very important case update. So, before I get into the case itself, take that moment now to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and let your friends know I'm live because this is kind of important. Okay, so I'm going to get into it then. Last week, I believe, it might have been the week before, I'm kind of losing track of time anymore. I did a story, or I uploaded a file from a live I did on Facebook regarding a man by the name of Jason Edward Kohler. And if you look at the description of the episode of this live, it's called High Point PD and Jason Edward Kohler. So, about 10 days ago, a group called BAP, or Bikers Against Predators, approached a man by the name of Jason Edward Kohler here. Well, I'm in Greensboro, but in High Point, North Carolina. They went to him because they had a dummy account on Facebook showing that the person was an 11-year-old girl, and Jason thought it was real and was messaging this 11-year-old girl. Jason is 49 years old. He also is a registered child predator. Yes, from the great state of Minnesota. So in this video, Bikers Against Predators show they're talking to him about the messages. They're not threatening him or anything. They're just basically doing the kind of like catch a predator kind of situation. But they show the printout of the messages they have from the Facebook account, and anyway, they I'm sorry, that's run off my train of thought there. But as I was saying, they showed him the messages from the chat. They read them off. He didn't deny any of them. He admitted that he had child pornography on his phone, images. And while they were interviewing him, somebody from the Bikers Against Predators called High Point Police to report that somebody had some lewd and pornographic video on their phone. Cops show up, they talk to him, and it gives the impression that the police did nothing. It gives the impression that they didn't take the evidence or anything. Good evening, rice cakes. So, as we find out today, High Point Police arrested Jason Edward Kohler and charged him with 15 counts of third-degree sex exploitation of a minor. 15 counts. He is now in the High Point Police jail, and he has a $1 million bond. Now, I have, since I did the original story on, okay, whoa, who did what? Okay, so hi, boss. So, boss, there's a man, if you look at the description of the live, a man named Jason Edward Kohler has been picked up for 15 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. What has happened is, or how he was found out, we have an organization called Bikers Against Predators who set up a dummy Facebook account showing that the account was owned by an 11-year-old girl. Jason started messaging this 11-year-old girl and was trying to set up a meetup, was talking very graphic sexually messages back and forth to her. And when they approached him about this, they had copies of the chat, and they went back and forth about the chat, and they called the police because in this conversation, he admitted that he had child photos on his phone, and police showed up. Police talked to him for a minute, but then they left. And when the Bikers Against Predators people asked them, did you take the phone? Did you do anything? They wouldn't answer the question. So it started this big outrage here in North Carolina going, what is going on? Why is this not being done? So today they issued a statement saying he's been arrested, that they did in fact get the phone. And because of that phone and what was on the phone, they were able to go back in with a warrant and retrieve all the rest of the electronics in his house. So now he's been charged with 15 counts of third-degree sex exploitation of a minor. So that is where we're at. Now, when I did my original story on him, We find out he is a registered offender, child predator from Minnesota. He's been in North Carolina since 2017. He's been in High Point since 2020. The person or the first case that put him away was back in 2005, and it was a 7-year-old victim. I have found out from a reliable source that 7-year-old victim was his own daughter. Thank you. He also got in trouble again in 2014, and he was not supposed to be on any computer or any phones or anything like that, have access to the internet. But he broke that, so they violated his probation and put him away for a while. Now he's out and he's in another state doing the same thing. And he's registered, but my problem is we do not know who the predators are unless we go looking for them ourselves. That's a big issue I have, because I went onto the website for, the offender's website, and I put in the zip code of 27260. I used to live in that zip code, and that is the zip code that Jason Edward Koehler lives in. And I did a 5-mile radius, and there's 238 sexual offenders in that radius of that zip code. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I also set up a thing where I can get notified when new ones pop up. And I got a guy who popped up from New York, child predator, moved to North Carolina. Got another one, moved here, child predator, moved here from Florida. So yeah, it's messed up. The whole thing is messed up, and there needs to be more done. Now, High Point Police got a lot of flack because they're like, "Hey, we did our job. If we jumped the gun and just took the phone or arrested him without looking at the phone, then guess what? We have a $1 million lawsuit." I understand that. However, they could have at least done some transparency and said, yes, we took a phone from him. That's all they had to say. They didn't have to give us any other details. They didn't have to show us what was on the phone. All they had to say is, yes, we confiscated a phone and gone about their merry way. So right now you've got a bit of a divide. You've got people who are for the police and you've got people who are against the police. I have my own issues with High Point Police, and I could go into that on another video. But right now, I am talking about this. But that guy, like I said, he is a predator, and he is a predator and needs to be locked up for the rest of his life, because studies show that sexual predators are the highest to reoffend, and they cannot be reintroduced back into society. They just can't, because they reoffend. This man has been in North Carolina since 2017. He's been in High Point since 2020. How many more victims do you think he's had in that time frame? Probably quite a few. So my question is, what has to be done for him to stay locked up for the rest of his life? Because he is somebody who does not need to be around people or children or anybody. Because my thing is this. I think if you are depraved enough to forcefully jump somebody to do sexual things with, you don't need to be around people. And it doesn't matter if it's a child, if it's a woman, if it's a man, doesn't matter. If you are that kind of person, you don't need to be around people. You need to take your butt and stay in jail. And the other thing is, I don't understand why we're getting all these out-of-state predators coming here to North Carolina. My thing is, if you have done something like that, stay your ass in the state where you came from. Stay there. Do not come here. We've got plenty of our own. We don't need any extras. So, I just, all I can say is, Jason Edward Koehler, there's a certain place in hell for you. And your first victim where you get thrown in jail is your own daughter, 7 years old. What is wrong with you? I don't understand this at all. And I'm not saying we need to defund the police, but I'm saying the police need to have a little bit more transparency. I think the citizens of the United States are getting really tired of saying, "Oh, we'll just handle it. You don't need to know the details." We don't need all that. We want a little bit of transparency. And it's insane. All of it's insane. So I just want to talk about this because, like I said, this guy has reoffended multiple times, but yet they keep giving him a chance to go out and be around people. There's documentation on the video I did on this guy originally that said the prosecutor, the his probation officer, therapist all said he wants to reoffend. He cannot not reoffend. So, but they let him out anyway. You know, they said he's a danger to society. Don't let him out, but they let him out anyway. Well, now he's in jail with $1 million bond and 15 counts of third degree exploitation of a minor. And let me explain what was on this video. The actual offenses is on or about the date of the offense shown and in the county named above. So this would be Guilford County. On looks like the offense was, and this is crazy, 12/28, December 28th, 2024. This is when I guess he got the images. Let's see. The above, named above, the defendant unlawfully, willfully, and feloniously did possess material containing a visual representation of a minor, unknown, prepubescent female, approximately 8 to 10 years old, engaging in sexual activity consisting of the V being penetrated from an adult male. So that is what he had on his phone. He had, oh, here, I'm sorry, here's another one. I didn't even see this as a different one. He said also, same thing, had images of a 12 to 14-year-old female being essayed. Let's see. Another one. This is of a 8 to 10-year-old pleasuring herself. Let's see here. Another one of a child that they couldn't tell what the age was, but being essayed in the back. I mean, it's, you know, it's all of it's awful. All of it's awful. And this man enjoys this. So my thing is, why ever let him out? Why? Why? This is what he turns him on. This is what he likes. Lock him away forever. Lock all of them away forever. Anybody who enjoys this stuff, get rid of them. Lock them away. So he's away right now. Hopefully he stays there for the rest of his life and he never gets out again. So on that note, this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. The word needs to get out about animals like this. So again, thank you for tuning in. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm out. Be weird, be rude, be safe. Bye.